Today, since we have 7 minutes and an open mic, I wanted to share with you something that I really believe in, and that's something that I titled that we seriously need to get over ourselves. And it's a philosophy that I got from a very good friend of mine, and I want to share it with you also as a part of kind of like a project that I started doing with myself. And I think maybe at some point in our lives, it's a project that could make sense or like use for everyone who would be, you know, in a difficult kind of situation. And that's kind of like a sanity map. This is what you see up there. So if I start with kind of like a background, the background of this presentation is that I work in a very stressful job. I used to work as a journalist, and then I started working in PR. And when you work in PR, you realize that hell is other people. Seriously. I mean, there is no other person who is more difficult than another person who has high expectations from you. And then it got a little bit even more stressful, if you can put it this way. I started working in political PR, which also means that you're always under control from like outside world, and whatever you do, whatever you move, you know, like you cannot do a covfefe, right? I mean, that's like basically what Donald Trump did, right? And well, some thought it was fun, but you know, when your boss is Donald Trump, I think you might have trouble at first, you know, like it's not that fun, you know, you have to erase that tweet or something like that. But, so I am like one of the Slovenians. By the way, how many Slovenians are here? Okay. I'm like most of the Slovenians, and like one of the things that's very common for us Slovenians is that we are very unhappy as a nature, although we have, as humankind, we're kind of really unhappy. Although we have really nice, you know, like nature, we have nice forests, we have a lot of things that we could appreciate in our lives. We're not doing bad, but we constantly, you know, like we're constantly unhappy. We are constantly, you know, like trying to focus on something better. We're very ambitious as well, and at some point in our lives, we as a nation in general are just, you know, like really tired and unhappy, and we like to share these emotions with the other humankind, persons of humankind, you know, like among our nation and stuff. So, and the stories that we share usually with friends when we meet for coffee or something like that is, you know, my day has been horrible. And then the other person goes, yeah, my day has been horrible as well. And then we are like talking for hours and hours and hours and just complaining. That's what we do. We complain. We complain a lot. And at the end of the day, you're not really having anything productive out of, you know, like just complaining to one another. But talking usually really helps. And that's how I actually decided to meet up with somebody who was not really a friend of mine before, but I've known him for ages. He was on the same studies as I was. And, you know, as usual, as an icebreaker, I started complaining to him. My job sucks. I hate everyone. Hell is other people, just like I told you. And then the guy was like, yeah, you know, okay, I didn't want to share this with you, but I have a very difficult story, you know. When I was 18, my parents both got into serious health problems. And that meant that when I was basically, you know, like at the, you know, the peak of my youth, and I could party and I could go everywhere, I started taking care of my parents, I started taking care of my household. I needed to get a serious job. We were, you know, like already in a process of being forcibly removed from our homes because we had so much debts, but I managed. And you know how I did this? By just, you know, focusing on what's important in life and having a sanity map with me and just saying, you know, you should follow, you know, some basic rules that you can follow, and I want to share them with you. And he shared them with me, and I'm really happy that he did, because these are some important lessons that I think I can share with you as well. Now, lesson number one that he told me is haters gonna hate. Taylor Swift is probably not gonna go down in history as being like one of the most, you know, smart person or something like that. But she had some really good quotes, and this is one of them, you know, that haters gonna hate, and it's basically true. You cannot satisfy everyone. because people are going to be, you know, malicious sometimes. Sometimes people are going to be, you know, overly perfectionist, and that's perfectly fine if they can live with themselves this way. But you cannot satisfy everyone's needs. And so, you know, you're not perfect, and you never will be. And when you kind of calm yourself with this, you're going to feel much, much better. And so, allow yourself to make mistakes. Mistakes happen. Just deal with it. And that's it. And then the second thing that he told me is, do not just consume, but research. Research. Always learn, always be, you know, do not be a sheep. Don't just, you know, be a plant and just, you know, like suck everything, you know. By the way, a very interesting fact on this, how the psychology of media works. You watch news. You all here watch news.
Yeah.
You do?
Sort of.
Sort of. Who here stopped watching news? I did as well. And you know why? Because the news has a very appropriate setting, especially when it's done on commercial television or commercial radio. It will always bombard you with negativity. Because this negativity gives you adrenaline rush. You hate everyone. You're very pissed off. You feel like you want to crush someone. You feel like you want to break something. And then they serve you ads. And ads are like something that calms you down. They're like a balsam for your, you know, like brain that is already hyperventilating and, you know, like trying to, you know, destroy everything around you. And then you consume ads and you're like, oh yeah, I will be good, you know, like having this, you know, moisturizer or something like that in my home because it's, you know, something everybody has, and yeah, I should buy the moisturizer. So that's what they do, and that's how the psychology of media works. You know this girl?
Yeah.
This is Malala. She's won a Nobel Prize, and she had this brilliant quote saying, "One child, one teacher, one book, and one pen can change the whole world." And you should follow this advice because this is the most brilliant advice that can ever happen to you. You know, you should always constantly try to evolve yourself. We got brain for a reason, and we should use it and constantly try to do something with ourselves. And then the last thing, you have one life to live, and so do not just, you know, sit there and wait for life to happen, but actively do things that make you happy. Hike, write a blog like I started doing for the sake of my sanity, for my creativity and stuff like that. Escape the world, like go traveling, go see new places, learn new things while you're traveling, and talk. Because while you're talking with other people, you do not just have the ability to calm yourself down or to resolve things, but you also learn new things. And, sorry, I'm way past my minutes, but you're owning to be yourself, and you're owning your life to yourself. And so this is the key message that I wanted to give you. Have a sanity map if you need to. Follow these advices if you want to. But just remember, it's your life. Take it.